right here at the right place, VOP 90.3 FM. Lagos, we are the voice of the people. My name remains Ash the Stud Boy, and we are continuing. It is continuity. We didn't just start now. The People's Drive has been on still since 12:30. We kicked off the People's Drive. So we are on to another segment of the People's Drive. In case you're just joining us, this is called, in case you're just joining us for the first time, it is called The Thing With The Border, Me and You segment. And we do this every Sunday afternoon on the People's Drive. So on today's topic, on The Thing With The Border Me, we are going to start with polygamy. What recent studies has revealed about polygamy. So we would want a lot of us, both male and female, married or unmarried, to pay attention. Although what I'm about to share with you may not go down with you as the right thing. It may also be the right thing to you, but recent studies has revealed this about polygamy. First of all, polygamy is a hotly contested practice and open to widespread of interpretation, misunderstanding too, depending on individual point of view. Like I said, what we're about to share together may not go down well with you. It may also go down well with you. So depending on individual point of view, recent studies have revealed this about polygamy. This practice of polygamy, is defined as a relationship between either one husband and multiple wives, or one wife and multiple husbands. Although the most common one is one man and multiple wives. It is very rare to see one woman with so many husbands. I know it happens somewhere in the world, but I've not seen it with my eyes in Nigeria, in this country, that a woman is married to 2 or 3 men. I've not seen it. But I've seen a man being married to multiple women. So today's polygamy almost exclusively takes the form of polygyny. One husband with multiple wives. That's what's called polygyny. Polygyny is a form of plural marriage in which a man is allowed more than one wife. In countries where polygamy is illegal, such as the United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada, someone who marries a person while still married to another commits the crime of bigamy. And there are resultant and consequences for that, because it is not allowed. It is illegal. Polygamy is illegal in UK, which is United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. Now, moving on. So, like I said, someone who marries while still in a marriage in these countries has committed a crime of bigamy. And there are lawful consequences, according to the law abiding in the country. For every country that is against polygamy, for every country that is against such practice, there is a lawful consequence that you're going to face. For instance, if you want to travel abroad from Nigeria to America and you're married, and you maybe submit your documents as a married person, you cannot go over there and try to remarry without getting a divorce. It is illegal. It is illegal, very, very illegal. Especially if you're living over there and maybe you're married to someone in America or in the United States or in the UK, United Kingdom, or Canada, and you want to come back to Nigeria and be married to someone else. If they find out, you're going to face the consequences. It is purely and highly illegal. So polygamy is neither exclusively Western nor non-Western. It has been practiced by some Hindus, Mormons, Muslims, and other cultural and religious groups have practiced polygamy. Also, when I say cultural, like ethnic groups, it could be that in your town, in your village, or in your community, it is accepted. And you may come to my village and polygamy is not accepted. So a lot of people practice this depending on their individual point of view and the culture or the law abiding the place. So it has been practiced by a lot of religious groups and cultures. In the pre-colonial era in Nigeria, polygamous, should I say, polygynous marriage was a very common thing in the pre-colonial area. In the pre-colonial era, it was actually very common, polygynous. So it was mainly for economic reasons. Mainly for economic reasons and family growth. In a situation where there were fewer numbers of members of the family, they want to produce, have more kids, grow in numbers in the family and all that. So I'm going to, at a point in this segment, I'm going to open the phone lines for you so that you would also share your idea. Let us know your point of view about polygamy, because like I said, depending on individual point of view, you may be part of it, you may not be part of it, you may not like it. So I'm going to open the phone line. And don't forget, you can stream this show on YouTube, because we are live on YouTube. If you're not subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, please do that ASAP, as soon as possible. We are there at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. So in a family where there are few people, few numbers of persons, they may, want to grow themselves in numbers. And in that kind of family, marrying two wives may not be a problem. So women and children were more of economic instruments in the pre-colonial era in Nigeria. Women and children were more of economic instruments for the men, who were mostly farmers and agrarians in nature. So since the land was cultivated with simple means of labor, many hands were needed. Many hands were needed for maximal cultivation of land, and this might have enhanced the prevalence of polygyny. When a man marries multiple wives, because they want more children, they want a large family to carry out labor. And, those days, they didn't even see it. Many people didn't see it as anything. They didn't see it as anything because people have to work for you. And you have the power, you have the energy to produce the people that will work for you. You have the time. So those days, it was really, really, common. It was very common. Now, however, the current economic factors in this country, it has driven the love of polygyny out of men based on the economy. Now, nobody go tell you. You born oneself, you would want to manage yourself to give that child the best you can ever give to your child. So the economic situation in Nigeria right now, in this country right now, does not support polygamy. It doesn't, because you by yourself, you will know that except you have a lot of money, by making more babies, having more children, multiple wives, you're already putting yourself in danger in this present Nigerian economy. So farming no longer is the main source of livelihood in Nigeria. Honestly, let me be particular about our own country. So farming is no longer the main source of livelihood. Like I said earlier, back in the days, most of the people depended on farming, to live. So therefore, they would want to have large number of family, to carry out the farm work, the whole labor and all that stuff. But these days, farming is no longer the main source of livelihood. It is blue collar jobs, businesses, ideas, innovation. People are beginning to create things for themselves. People are beginning to use their skills, and also the blue collar jobs. So this though is still practiced in some parts of Nigeria. This polygyny, polygamy, some parts of Nigeria do not care whether the economy is bad or not. It is their culture, and they cannot do without it. Now, globally, acceptance of polygamy is common. Acceptance of polygamy is common globally. According to Diouf in 2010, out of 1,231 societies noted, only 186 were monogamous, 453 had occasional polygyny, 588 had more frequent polygyny, and 4 had polyandry. Only 4 societies. So at the same time, even within societies that allow polygyny, the actual practice of polygyny still occurs unevenly. There are exceptions. In Nigeria, for example, nearly 47% of marriages are multiple. In this our dear country, nearly 47% of marriages are multiple. So within polygamous societies, multiple wives often become a status symbol denoting wealth, power, and fame. When you have up to 5 wives, 10 wives, then you be Baba. You have 3, you have 4. You may be an Alhaji or something. So nevertheless, the number of polygamous marriages is relatively minuscule, despite the cross-cultural presence of polygamy. So now the standard of debate over the permissibility of polygamy has been characteristically poor. Honestly. So thus, a proponent of polygamy argued that it is acceptable on the grounds that many in West societies also cohabit with multiple partners. Many in the Western societies also cohabit with multiple partners, such as married men keeping relationship with mistresses. They also argued that such persons from the Western part of the world form relationships that involve emotional commitment, relationships that can't be easily terminated. Not unlike polygamy. Now, let us see, when you are defending polygamy, the additional problem of defending polygamy is that the defense of polygamy reduces marriage to only a sexual relationship. And on the contrary, the institution of marriage encompasses for more than sexual relationships, but extends to a host of other functions such as property rights, family alliances, and raising of children. So not only it is a mistake to view polygamy and extramarital affairs as the same. It is a very big mistake, but not just a mistake when you view polygamy and extramarital affairs as the same thing. It is also a mistake to view marriage in terms of sexual relationships alone and gratification of your desire, of one's desire. One argument people make against polygamy is that it is more likely to present harmful effects. Argue with your ancestors. Argue with anybody. If I open the phone line, you can argue with me. But for now, argue with anybody that's around you. It is more likely to present harmful effects, especially towards women and children. Especially towards the children. The harmful effects of polygamy cannot be overemphasized. It creates more it creates more issues more than monogamy. Let us see, as seen in decisions of as in the case of Rex Young and Harvey Princewell, there are several studies that appear to support this particular position. For example, women in polygamous marriages are at higher risk of low self-esteem. They are at higher risk of low self-esteem, as well as depression, than women in non-polygamous relationships. When you have a wife, you take up another wife. How would she feel? Let us just be humanly and look at it from a very, very non-religious, non-cultural perspective. That you take a wife, you love her so much, you do everything for her. And after some time, just after some time, you decide to take another wife. How is it going to affect her emotions, her feelings, and everything? So, women in monogamy, in monogamous marriages, tend to be, more happy deep down their lives. Tend to be more, less depressed than women in polygamous marriages. So polygamous families have distinct house problems, usually stemming from jealousy between co-wives over the husband's affections and resources and all that. Who gets more time from the husband, whose children gets more attention, and all that. So, polygamous unions are also popular vehicles for the spread of sexually transmitted diseases. True or false? Say true if you believe that this is, if you think this is true, that polygamous unions are also popular vehicles for the spread of sexual transmitted diseases. Different types: HIV, chlamydia, syphilis, and so on. Polygamous marriages contravene a woman's right to equality with men. And also other studies shows that These women also enjoy less marital satisfaction and more problematic mother-child relationship. And polygamous unions sometimes, most of the time, often lead to poverty. When the bills don't choke, you go know. So in Nigeria, regions with high prevalence of poverty also have the highest polygamy rates. Go and check. Go and check. Regions with high prevalence of poverty also have the highest polygamy rates. We're going to stop here for now and go for some advert break. And when we come back, we'll continue more on this particular topic on the thing with the bother me and you segment right here on the People's Drive with Stud Boy Ash. You are on 90.3 FM. Don't go anywhere. We are talking about polygamy. What recent studies reveal. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
Voice of the people stands unique, constantly challenging societal status quo. 90.3. It is a great place of fun and insight. It is a great place of learning. It could be your school on radio. It could be your life on radio. We are VOP, Voice of the People. VOP 90.3. Is strong. It is the voice of the people. Entertainment unparalleled. Satisfaction guaranteed. VOP, Voice of the People. VOP, Voice of the People.
Welcome back from the advert break. You're still on the People's Drive with Stud Boy Ash. And this segment is the thing where they bother me and you segment. 90.3 FM, the voice of the people, Lagos. Let's go back fully to the topic. We are talking about polygamy, what recent studies revealed. And in addition, further studies demonstrate that women in polygamous marriages are especially vulnerable to depression while being pregnant and after childbirth. And as their husbands become more likely to turn their attention and affection to their other wives, my first wife or my second wife, in just born, I no go feel near her for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Depression comes to that particular woman, during pregnancy and after childbirth. Because they tend to get less attention from their husbands while more attention is being given to the co-wives. So women in polygamous marriages are typically subservient to their husbands, who hold their wives primarily responsible for childbearing, emotional support, and all that. So Nigeria is part of the polygamy belt, undeniably. A region in West Africa and Central Africa where polygamy is common and deeply rooted in the culture. Nigeria is also estimated as having the 5th highest polygamy prevalence in the world. Number 5 or more. Our rank high where for many things. So, but when you see some kind of things, we will not go even there anywhere at all. But this kind of thing now, see as our rank take come up. So number 5, the 5th highest polygamy prevalence in the world, with 28% of the population living in polygamous marriages. So 28% of Nigerian population lives in polygamous marriages. With only 4 countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, Gambia, and Niger, having a higher prevalence. Wow. So according to the Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey in 2008, a third of married women in Nigeria are in polygamous unions, and 16% of married men aged 15 to 49 have more than one wife. And under civil law, Nigeria does but recognize polygamous unions. However, 12 out of 36 Nigerian states recognize polygamous marriages as being equivalent to monogamous marriages. 12 out of 36. All 12 states are governed by the Sharia law. Out of these 33 states, the 12 states are governed by the Sharia law. The states, which are all northern region, include Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, and Sokoto under the Sharia law. Also Yobe and Zamfara, which allow for a man to take more than one wife. Not excluded. Yobe and Zamfara. So when it comes to matrimonial matters and causes, Nigeria practices what I would like to colloquially refer to as dual system. System that recognizes 2 marriages. Nigerian system. It's a dual system. We recognize Islamic customary marriage and statutory marriage. So the Islamic customary marriage allows for polygamy. Under the Islamic law, a man can marry up to 4 wives. Although some people exceed. Some people go higher than 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Any amount. If you have the money, go ahead. The condition is that it should be practiced by men who have the capacity to manage it successfully and treat their wives equally. If you check the Quran, you see the Surah 429. Similarly, men who choose to marry under customary law can marry several wives. So unlike Islamic law, there is no limit to the number of wives they can marry in the customary law. There is no limit to the number of wives they can marry. So, on the other hand, statutory marriage, or what is referred to as marriage under the act or court marriage, is a marriage contracted or regulated by the Marriage Act and Matrimonial Causes Act. And that is the voluntary union of one man and one wife to the exclusion of others. That is a court marriage. Otherwise, it is also known as monogamy. The marriage is either celebrated in the marriage registry or in a licensed place of worship, which is usually in a church after the issuance of registrar's certificate. So this kind of marriage is often called a white wedding by Christians, mostly by Christians. Let me just put it that way, mostly by Christians, called a white wedding. So once marriage is contracted pursuant to this, the man cannot marry another wife while the marriage subsists. You dare not take another wife. Otherwise, the law will be against you. So he or she is liable to, if a person commits the crime of bigamy now, like marrying another wife, while your first marriage is still on and you go ahead to marry another wife, whether you are a man or a woman, you are liable to 5 years imprisonment by virtue of Section 46 of the Marriage Act and 7 years for the same offense under the Section 370 of the Criminal Code Act. It's also seen in Section 35 of the Marriage Act. You cannot take another wife. If you do it, you have broken the law. So most times people mistake double-decker marriage for a species of marriage that gives the man the right to contract statutory and customary marriages to several wives. And, this is a misconception. Absolutely. So double-decker marriage simply means the contraction or celebration of marriage by the same couple, first under customary law, then subsequently under the act, or it allows only the same man to marry the same woman, customarily and statutorily. And this only allows the same couple the benefits of enjoying both systems of marriage. Now, let me conclude. In conclusion about polygamy, it's in itself not a crime. Polygamy is not a crime. But rather, it becomes a crime when a man takes another wife when there is a subsisting marriage under the Marriage Act without proper dissolution of the previous marriage in accordance to the instant law guiding the Marriage Act. Spouses are encouraged to be more monogamous. When I say more monogamous in your orientation, be more monogamous oriented. Considering the prevailing circumstances of our present environment, high cost of commodities, and quality of living. More so, our mental health is very important. Because in polygamy, oga, the way you they think, it'll be the same way person will marry one wife, they think, oh, it can never be the same. No matter how much you have, there is extra high cost of living than someone who married one wife. But polygamy is not a crime. But don't forget that your mental health is very important. Social balance, occasioned with management of larger family. Polygamy has intending challenges that you must face, whether you like it or not. Just know that if you have a wife, you take another wife, you are giving yourself extra headache. It is not a crime, but undeniably, polygamy has the tendencies of causing trouble. So globally, polygamy is gradually becoming out of fashion. Globally, it is gradually becoming out of fashion due to serious financial challenges. And as people's purchasing power is being reduced. Please don't get me wrong. I don't know how you see this discussion, this topic this afternoon. If I have offended you by talking about this, I am completely sorry. But I know that it will go down well with most of us, and most people may not like it. But let me tell you one thing. It is very necessary that as individuals, we try as much as possible to have a moderate, I don't want to use the word small, possible to have a small family unit for your good and for their good. For the good of your offsprings and the society at large. Because if you give birth to 20 children and you cannot take care of them, you have done the society no good. You have not done the society any good, because we have left the age of, depending on man labor. There are things that can do, there are equipment, there are materials that can do the labor for us now. So it's not about how many children you give birth to. Can you take care of them? It's not about how many wives you marry. Can you manage your family without causing trouble? So we're going to end here on this topic. If you have your own point of view, your contributions to this topic, you can call me up on 0700 903 903 903, or you can send a message on WhatsApp on 0700 903 9039. I repeat, the phone numbers you can call is 0700 903 903 903, or you can also call 0700 903 9039, or send a message on WhatsApp to 0700 903 9039. We're still on the Thing With The Border, Me and You segment, and we are going to go on another a bit harsh topic. And this one is about the Niger military. It's about the Niger military, on the brink of deadline to reverse coup. Okay, we have a call. Let's get this call. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. All right, so you can call me back. 0700 903 9039. Superpowers are actually backing Niger State, Niger country. I beg your pardon. The country, Niger, as pronounced by some people. Someone has come out to say that Tinubu must tread with caution. And that is retired Captain Babangida. He has come out to say that our dear president of Nigeria, must tread with caution because there are super powers backing Niger Republic. So a former military intelligence officer and chief executive officer of Goldwater Consults, Captain Ali Babangida, talks to Godfrey George about President Bola Tinubu's intervention in the aftermath of the coup in the Republic of Niger, among other issues. So he has advised that our president must tread with caution. Now, he said that we are short of military misadventure. In his own words, he said, I do not know what the president wants to engage in. There are many ways to look at the situation, and none of it is in his favor. The thing is, we are looking at a francophone family quarrel, regardless of his position as the president of Nigeria and the head of the Economic Community of West African States. You don't match a francophone country with anglophone troops. What happened to Vietnam? What happened to Cambodia? America decided to flex her muscles over there, and she was tumbled to the hilt. That is one thing Captain Babangida is telling us. I said the second thing is that it is no news that our borders are porous promas. That is why all sorts are able to enter Nigeria, do what they like, and stroll out. In other words, our borders are not properly secured. So he said these simple people are the ones we had an engagement with and are helping us shelve off the activities of bandits from there. Also, these people share 1,630 contiguous borders with us. To make matters worse, the borders are not really marked. If you have been to the border, you would know what I am talking about. Captain Babangida is telling us. So it is not as though there is a wall or one big trench. There are some houses that are built across borders. It is on the same Nigerian border. I worshipped in a mosque that has two doors, one facing Niger and the other one facing Nigeria. He, Tinubu, wants to take these people to task with a military marching order. And he said, I don't think that is a serious thing to do. Now the question is, can we actually stand this battle with these francophone countries? Because from the way things are going, these countries are actually ready and heading for war. The last time I saw the youngest president in Africa, president of Burkina Faso, who went to visit Putin, also on the same issue. And we know what Russia can do when it comes to armory, when it comes to battles. Are we actually ready? Are we ready for this? Now, the pressure on the leaders of a coup in Niger or Niger, mounted.
Hello, good afternoon, my brother.
Hello, good afternoon.
My name is Ijeoma from Egwuatu. Please, who am I speaking with in the studio, please? Because I don't know and I did not listen from the beginning.
Okay, Nemeka, my name is Ash.
Actually,
Stud boy.
I thank you for your good work, my brother.
Thank you so much, Nemeka.
What catches my attention is your last topic.
Go ahead.
That catches my attention so much.
Okay.
You know why I call you, my brother? You know why I call you a studio?
No, go ahead.
We are not ready as a country to lose any soul or lose any money. Number one. And number two is this. I watched a documentary from Sierra Leone produced by a journalist. You understand me?
Yes.
He's talking about Sierra war. And the way he talk about Nigeria soldiers, like say, we'll just force ourselves on them. You understand me? To invade their land, kill their people, take away their property. I said to myself, this Sierra where we lost soldiers, lost money, lost energy, lost time on it as a country. The problem we are facing today, all those wars cause it for us. All the necessary money we spend on those wars go to Liberia and Sierra Leone. And those people, they are not happy with us, the way we invade their land with soldiers. And today we are making another plan again to Niger Republic. Brother, let me tell you, if Nigeria do a mistake, go into this war, sorry will be our name forever. Do you know why I say sorry will be our name? Number one, we are not having any interest there as a country. Unless the politicians that is going to that war has an extra interest there for their own purpose, not for the country, because I don't see any reason why Niger is not part of Nigeria. Neither are we part of them. If they say they want to be free from France Republic, you understand me?
Yeah.
Let us give them the chance to be free.
Thank you very much for calling in on the show.
So, my brother, this war, we are not going to get it easy because of the people involved. Russia is involved. And if we did not take care, sorry will be Nigerian name. That is all I have.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother Nnemeka. Thank you for calling in on the show. Nnemeka has told us that we are not ready for this war against these francophone nations. The pressure is actually high because, our own president has threatened to invade Niger Republic if they don't return back power to the president, the democratic president of Niger. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Frenchman.
All right. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ikoto.
All right, go ahead.
I want to contribute to this issue. Nigeria to understand that where they belong to. Are they belong to Nigerians or the outside countries? That is like Niger, other borders that is open.
Yes.
It's time for them to come to one and dialogue and close the borders, remove every babies in that place and close it.
Okay.
If you see France and Switzerland, their border, and France and Germany, their border, it was a fence all around, of which is not even 1 meter. You can see each other. You can put handshake and shake if you want. So the Northerners are spoiling this country. The Northerners, they are the one breaking this country. No rule, no law, everything. Everything negative is in this country. Even the president or the people are not doing the right thing they're supposed to do is the Northerners. So I think this should be their eye opening now in order to see if they can arrange this country or not. They are the problem of this country, the Northerners. Simple. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your own contribution. Would like to hear more from you listening out there, what you think, because when okay, hold on, I've got a call. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Lordman, calling from Ikorodu.
Happy Sunday to you.
I wish you the best.
All right, go ahead.
My take on Tinubu and Niger issue is, it is very clear. When Buhari promised Tinubu that after he finished Nigeria, after he destroyed Nigeria, the next home for him is to go to Niger. And now, immediately he destroyed Nigeria, and the next place he's supposed to go should be Niger. All these problems are coming. Let the Commonwealth people, whoever they call themselves, invited Tinubu and Buhari on the table so that the issue can be settled. When Buhari said you will be going to Niger, from that day I was afraid. So let them call Buhari to come and give account. How come immediately he finished Nigeria, there will be problem in the place he promised to go and stay? Very simple. not to carry Nigeria soldier and go and be disturbing them. Is it to carry Nigeria soldier and go and guide all the project Buhari, pack from Nigeria to Nigeria? This was the real problem. The issue is very clear. Buhari should be accounted for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, brother. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Name and location,
Happy
please.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you.
Victor calling from First Tag.
Mr. Victor, go ahead.
My brother, I think Nigerians have been speaking up since this issue of coup in Niger. And I had expected the presidency or the president to have a rethink. One, Nigeria is a polarized country. At the moment, we are not ready for any war. We have our own internal problems that nobody is even scratching it. We are divided by ethnic lines. We are divided religiously. We are divided by so many things at the moment that I think what the president, who has just assumed office last 2 or 3 months, should be doing is how to unite his own country, not aligning with the Western world because of their interest in somewhere. For him to say he's going to war in Niger, one, the signs are there for him that he's going to fail. The northern senators, none of them voted for this. He went to the National Assembly. The northern senators, what did they do? They said, no, you can't go. If you've listened to former military head of state.
Go ahead.
And I'm happy there's one of our brothers who called and told you there is a Sierra Leonean journalist who did a document.
Hello? Sorry, we lost that one. Hello? Hello? Hello, good afternoon. All right, please call me back. 0700 903 903 903, or you can call 0700 903 9039. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ash. This is Chris calling from Ajao.
Chris, happy Sunday to you.
I'm very fine.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, this issue of going to war with Niger, Nigeria is not prepared at all. We don't even need it. Even at this situation, we don't need it. Even with what is facing us now, we've not solved our own problem. Then why will we go for what? What is our business? What is our gain? What is our profit? Do we have armory? We don't have armory. How many weapons do we have? Is it not our police that are using Shakapula here?
Which one is Shakapula again?
If you look what is going on now, what that general, what is displayed, you will know that these people, they are ready to die. You will see that somebody is behind them.
Yes.
And somebody is seriously behind them that tells them, go and do anything that will happen. We are behind you. Who is behind us? So I believe let us start contributing. Maybe the message we get to him, we don't need it now. Already we are in a little bit house situation. People are no more eating, food is scarce, everything is scarce. When that one now adds to this, it will become a problem. That's just my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, when Captain Babangida, Aliyu Babangida retired, he was asked what is his expectation from the president regarding the situation in Niger. I beg your pardon. He said, what I would have expected from Mr. President was for him to use, first and foremost, what I want to call his own advantage of age and sagesse over those young men who are mostly in their 30s, because the president of Burkina Faso is the youngest president in Africa. The other preceding president that, the coup president that took over in Niger is also a very young person. So he has told Mr. President to use his age advantage to make decisions. I'm going to continue. Let's take this call. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Name and location.
My name. I'm calling from Ikoton. Tumbi is my name.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. On this major issue,
I want us to look at one thing. Coup is not the first time in Niger. That is one. And there have been governments in this country. Number two, if you look at the map of Africa, you will see that from Guinea to Niger to Chad, they are all under military junta, which is cutting across the whole of the northern part of West Africa. Now, if ECOWAS decide to invade Niger because of this coup in Niger, then how many countries will participate in that invasion? You can only count Nigeria, Ghana, maybe Togo, and some other small, Liberia, Sierra Leone, which countries have their major internal problems. So the bulk of the weight of the invasion will fall on Nigeria. And we should remember that Mali and Burkina Faso have warned that military intervention should not happen in Niger. So which means that we will not only be invading Niger, the ECOWAS will have to be tackling with both Mali and Burkina Faso, with the backing of whichever international power is behind them.
Okay.
I am happy that the National Assembly has turned down the request that Nigerian military be involved in that invasion. Yes, we can agree that it is not the decision of the president of Nigeria to invade Niger. It is the decision of ECOWAS, of which he is the chairman.
So whose decision is it exactly? He is the president of ECOWAS.
Yes, he's the president of ECOWAS.
Okay.
But ECOWAS has an executive. ECOWAS has a parliament.
Yes.
There are other heads of state of ECOWAS.
Yes.
So it is not single-handedly the decision of Tinubu, and he has done the right thing. He has gone to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly has said no. That pushed them to Nigeria's involvement in any plan to invade
Niger.
We have enough problems in this country.
Too many.
Our president obey the National Assembly, pull back from that invasion. If ECOWAS wants to invade, let other countries provide the manpower, the equipment, the weaponry, the need to do that, and let Nigeria just be a passive participant in execution of his obligations to ECOWAS. But for Nigeria to take a lead in that invasion, it will spread disaster for this country. We have enough problems as it were already.
Thank you.
That's my submission.
Thank you very much. Some people will say the president and Nigeria has even done enough by cutting out 70% of Niger's electricity, and that has also, stirred their anger up, against President Tinubu, as most of them changed his name from Bola to Ebola Tinubu. That is what they changed his name to, and they also protested against Nigerian president. If you look at the age of these young guys who embarked on this coup, many of them are very young already. Brother. Hello, good afternoon.
That's the call back. I want to chip on something for you, please.
Go ahead.
The best for us now as a country and ECOWAS to do is to go in there for dialogue. Ask the people what is their grievances. See how we solve it with them. You know, I tell you this, my brother. According to the man who is there as a president before, you have stayed 10 years in office, and you want to turn the constitution again another 10 years for yourself. And the people raise up, and at the same issue happen at Guinea-Bissau, Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
And became Mali. You understand me?
Yes.
And all of them now, they are scared to do anything. Anybody that comes their way, they are scared to face the person. The only thing we have now is to go in there as a dialogue, as a big brother who claim to be. But anything apart from dialogue, war, Nigeria will lose totally. Nigeria will lose totally. They will lose both everything. Because these people, they surround us. And they are inside us already. So we have to be careful as a nation. Not to bring any problem into this nation, coupled with the one we are having already inside. We have a lot of problems here as a nation to solve. Let's face it. If anything, because all those men that is at ECOWAS giving our president for full respect, why they not select themselves to be in the front? Because they know the ways and the laws on it. That's why all of them is at the back taking praises for them. Let you know listen to any praises. So if anybody is ready to go for war, let him go to the war with his family and his country, not Nigeria. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Nemeka. Thank you for calling back. I think we are not actually ready for this war because we have problems we are facing internally in this country. And from my own point of view, I think the president should really focus on what the basic amenities, what we actually need, the inadequacy of resources, jobs, and employment in Nigeria. He should help tackle poverty. We are actually facing a lot in this country. There is fuel high price and all that. There are a lot of things. The cost of goods, everything is going up. Today, $1 is equivalent to 800 and something naira. That is way too much. You know, the currency is actually devaluing. So I think the president should focus more on what is happening in the country. And hello, good afternoon. You know, and for now, I'm not saying he should forget about Niger or what's happening over there. They are also our neighbors. They are also our brothers in Africa. So, but I think the president should actually focus internally on what is happening in this country. Hello.
Hello, I have to call by this Lord man from Ikorodu. I have one question.
Go ahead.
Okay, the issue of Niger. Why Nigerian politicians will not try to learn from it? All of them divide our economy to Niger, and just to make sure we Nigerians suffer. I think the next thing for them is to go and be guarding their stolen property there. It's better they go and negotiate with the young man and protect their property so that later they will remove those things back to Nigeria. I think this is the easiest thing because they should not use sense for us. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to take the last call. Hello.
Hello, brother. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Name and location. Please reduce the volume on your radio.
Is Victor calling back?
Reduce the volume on your radio.
Hold on. Hello.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. Like I called earlier, this issue of war is highly sensitive. At the moment, here in Festac, 70 or 80% of the people running Okada are Nigerians.
Exactly.
And I've seen, yes, they are Nigerians, not Nigerians. They are Nigerians.
I agree with you because I live around that area.
Yes, and I've seen them. Just a few days ago, there was a fight at Abulade, and a fight between the Aboros and these guys. And if you hear them, they are chanting. They are even ready for us here within, not outside.
Even inside our country.
They will tell you that. Yes, they are ready. If the president tries anything in their country, they are ready for us within here. Here is in Lagos.
Wow.
So. And you see some Nigerians, I think if you've been following Twitter on this, Nigerians are even supporting these Nigerians because of we are highly divided at the moment. So economically, the issue of the fuel subsidy, I think the president should just calm down, respect the wish of the National Assembly who have told him we don't have a need for this. Let's calm down and solve our problems. Let him face the internal policies first before looking at his foreign policies. Because I don't know how we'll come out of it. Because if you go to Ikorodu, it's the same thing, the same people living. Ikorodu is almost, I would even say 90% of the Okada men there are from Niger. So if he starts, where do we start from? So, and I expect Mr. President, one, to respect the rule of law that the National Assembly and said, "Oh, we have passed this bill. Don't go to war." Let him don't be pushed. I think Nigerians would be more happy if he takes down this offer of going to war, like the people have called the young men who had the queue in Niger. These are young boys, and it's because their leaders have pushed them to the war. The same thing. So I, like the last caller said, I join him. Let our politicians learn. Let them learn. Nigerians are also being pushed to the wall. From Oshodi to second rainbow, we used to be 200. Now, after you get up in the morning, 500, 400, 600. How do people survive? A lot of people are begging for food now. Nigerians are begging for food. If you go on the street, you see people, brother, please, auntie, please, can I just give me, after church service today, if you call to church, go to many churches, you see beggars, Nigerians, healthy people. Please, this is my submission. The president should leave this issue of war. Let's face our internal
Thank you.
problems.
Thank you very much. The final call. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Go ahead. Name and location.
Yeah, this is Mr. Ike calling from Ghost.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, if Nigeria wants to go to war, let them go now. I think I want them to go. At least not even so that we're keeping that Southeast. So leave us here now. We will not take care. We are going to tell them now. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Majority carries the vote. In conclusion of this topic on the thing with the bother me and you segment, this is actually bothering a lot of Nigerians, including myself, because I wouldn't want us to go to war at this point in my life. I really need money. I'm looking for money, and my family too, my children, my brothers and my sisters, my unborn children. I want a future for myself. And the next generation to come. So war is not part of what we really need right now. It's like going from frying pan to fire. We are complaining about things happening in our country, and then war. I don't think this is a good idea. Honestly speaking, I don't think it's a good idea from Mr. President to even embark on this particular thing. I think it would be nice and it would be better if Mr. President decides to back out of this particular issue for now, for the meantime, and look internally into what is happening with Nigerians, what is happening in our country. We're going to stop here for now. And if in case you don't know that you can stream this show on YouTube, let me let you know that you can go right there and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We are there on YouTube. Someone is also calling in. Okay, let's just take this final call. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, this is Rollins calling from Ikotu.
Go ahead, my brother.
Okay, I want to contribute in the aspect of this Nigeria invading Niger.
Okay.
Cancer is when it's a disorder where the cells are not controlled.
Yeah.
This war, if they do, the war will spread like cancer. That is one. Then autoimmune disease is a disease where the body is fighting itself. Are
you a doctor?
Don't worry, it can be versatile.
Go ahead.
This autoimmune disease is a disease when the body is fighting itself. Now, if Nigeria invades Niger, it will spread like cancer because other African countries, particularly the Muslim countries, will bounce on Nigeria. That is one. And even the northern Nigeria, which is mostly Muslims, will not spare other parts of Nigeria because you cannot be fighting their brother. And they will stay standing looking at you. And around Nigeria, you see, the people from Niger are found within the southeast. They are driving Okada, they are doing shoemaker. You could go to Lagos, the same thing. They are all over the place. And you cannot be fighting their people because of they had a bad government and they just come out of it. They're even celebrating. They are fighting them. I don't see why you should go ahead fighting somebody that is celebrating. Moreover, it also leads to the total disintegration of the country because a lot of individuals wants to go from Nigeria, and they give them the opportunity, and they will take it. That's my own contribution.
All right, thank you.
Well, before he should. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Nigerians do not want war. We want improvement in our economy. We want a better life. We want our naira to be equal to dollar and pounds. That is what we want. We don't want war. Anything that's going to bring trouble to this country, the one we are already facing is enough for us. Bringing war at this particular time in Nigeria, it's Nigerians may even fight against Nigeria and fight against the president if this happens. So please, I don't think it is a good idea. Let us face our problem. Charity begins at home. My name is Ash the Stud Boy, and you're on the People's Drive. Coming up next is gonna be Studio 903 by Citizen Jones. Please don't go nowhere. You are on 90.3 FM, the station that would always make your voice valid. Station that will always give you a voice. We love you and we always love you. Follow me across all social media handles at STUDBOY for life. Stud Boy 4 before 5. Stud Boy for life. And then so on TikTok, if you're on TikTok, I'm right there at Stud Boy 101. Let's connect. Let's do business. Let's do everything we can to help each other grow. See you again. I'll be back on Wednesday to take you guys on the late night show. And Wednesdays are for Youth Alive segment. Like I said, VOP is where you ought to be every now and then. Thanks for staying with us.